So this is a presentation on China. A little background on China. It's actually one of the oldest countries in the world today, with its history starting in prehistoric times. Uh, Chinese history started off with the Xia dynasty, founded by Yu the Great. He focused on farming, things just like that. Um, the Qin dynasty was one of the next major dynasties, started by Shi Huangti in the 221 BCE. This is actually when the construction of the Great Wall in China began. After this, in 220 AD, China went through the period of disunity. Is when it was separated into six separate dynasties. It was separated by the invaders in the north and the successive Chinese dynasties in the south. Um, the last Chinese dynasty actually went from the 1644 to 1912, and it was the Qing dynasty, and it fell because of China's China's inability to challenge the West culturally. And these are just some of the artifacts that were found all along China, and yeah, the oldest one being the Li Gui, the object that looks like a cup in the middle, and yeah, actually one of the most important inventions, one of the more important inventions of China is actually the compass, which is an ancient Chinese invention. It was actually invented for geomancy and fortune telling, and was not used for navigation at first. Another invention would be gunpowder. It was created on accident by Chinese alchemists looking for an immortality elixir. Um, Another important invention would be paper making. They used mulberry and other fibers with fishnets, old rags, and hemp waste to create something that's similar to what paper is today. And another invention would be printing on the paper. Um, it was uh, it was endorsed by the Qing dynasty by their sponsorship that they created large printing projects. Um, a major landmark of China is the Great Wall, the largest man-made object that can be seen from space. It's over 21,000 kilometers long, and it's man-made and used natural and man-made barriers. A cultural day that they celebrate in China would be the Chinese New Year or the Spring Festival. It's celebrated during the at the turn of the lunar solar Chinese calendar, and it celebrates wealth, youth, and those traits. Another festival would be the Lantern Festival. It's celebrated on the 15th day of the first month of the Chinese New Year. It's celebrated mainly by the children releasing lanterns in the sky. Another landmark would be the Forbidden City. It's actually one of the largest. It's actually a pretty large landmark because it has over 980 buildings and covers over 180 acres, and it's actually a museum today, and it's very popular. China today has is very political as the U.S. election affects it greatly because of Donald Trump um, and his political associates. Trump and his associates greatly affect China, so that could be a problem for them. Um, Another current event will be the carbon emission crisis. Even though China has been solving its crisis, it did account for 25% of the global production of carbon, which is very high. Um, Another one will be their public health because of the carbon emissions. They do have poor public health, but they are focusing on that, and they focus mainly on public areas that are high in concentrated population, like schools and buildings and businesses such as that. Uh, China's favorite sport is actually basketball, with their favorite player being Kobe Bryant, not Yao Ming, Kobe Bryant, because of his endorsement of the Asian culture and his frequent trips to China. And yeah, that's all I have to show you guys for today. So thank you for my presentation.